Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and today we're going to review the MSI GE62 7RE gaming laptop. So let's start by taking a look inside the MSI GE62 7RE. The laptop allows you to upgrade the hard drive, SSD and the RAM easily. However, the CPU and the GPU on the laptop aren't upgradable. There are plenty of heat pipes for cooling, with certain sections of the heat pipes helping cool down MOS FETs aside from the CPU and the GPU, which require the most cooling. Moreover, there are two cooling fans and the heat pipes are not shared between the CPU and the GPU, making for a much better design choice. The audio solution comprises of one 3-watt speaker and four 2-watt speakers on the bottom left and the bottom right of the chassis. These two speaker modules are downward firing, and the 3-watt speaker also has a mesh grille so as to not hamper audio performance. The display panel isn't too thick, as is the case with most gaming laptops, and we didn't notice any irregularities with the hinges either. The entire thing opens up quite well to a good 140 degrees, allowing you to use it with a variety of cooling pads. And the bottom has a huge mesh to allow for better cooling. Overall, we say that the unit is pretty well designed, and the lack of upgradability is the only downside to the design. Coming to the keyboard, we prefer chiclet style keys for gaming and would pick anything that has a higher greater travel distance. The SteelSeries keyboard on MSI gaming laptops aren't lacking. As for the touchpad, we aren't fond of the brushed metal finish. There are quite a few standard gestures that Windows 10 supports, like 2-finger swipes for scrolling, which can be a little finicky to perform on this touchpad. Vertical swipes is absolutely effortless, but horizontal swiping has an unusual feel to it. The touchpad is quite wide and there's plenty of room to play around with. There is no dearth of I/O ports on the MSI GE62 7RE. On the right hand side, we have an SD card reader, a USB 2.0 port, the optical disk drive and the power socket. On the left hand side, we have the Kensington lock slot, Gigabit Ethernet port, two USB 3.0 ports, one mini display port, one HDMI, one Type-C USB port and audio line in and line out ports. Sporting a 15.6-inch Full HD display panel, the MSI GE62 7RE has the most popular resolutions covered. The matte finish barely throws any glare and the colors seems to be quite accurate. A close-up inspection reveals that the panel uses a simple RGB sub-pixel arrangement, and that works great with all GPUs since it's quite the standard arrangement. The brightness was a little lower than mainstream laptops that we've tested. Tone response wasn't out of the ordinary, but color uniformity and color accuracy were quite high. Armed with an Intel Core i7 7700HQ and 16GB of DDR4 RAM clocked at 2400 MHz, you'll never have to worry about day-to-day tasks at all. With 128GB Toshiba SSD, this unit just about gets the bare minimum marks. We'd have liked at least a 256GB on the SSD so that a few extra softwares could be installed aside from the operating system. The secondary drive is a Hitachi 2.5-inch hard drive with a capacity of 1 TB. The good thing about this drive is that it runs at 7200 RPM, while most other laptops will have a 5400 RPM drive. The combination of the Intel Core i7 7700HQ and the NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti work quite well with most games. Unlike the GTX 1060, we don't get to see 60 FPS across all AAA titles. Instead, we're seeing more around the 40 FPS bracket. Rise of the Tomb Raider scores about 37.7 FPS. Witcher 3 with everything cranked up to max manages to scrape past the 25 FPS mark. At the end of the day, you will need to scale down a few of the parameters to get a smooth gameplay. The MSI GE62 7RE is a simple refresh with Intel's latest Kabylake processors. Priced at 1,29,990 rupees and powered by the Core i7 7700HQ and the GTX 1050 Ti, it offers quite the value proposition for gamers. The display is great, and for a gaming laptop it only weighs 2.4 kgs, which isn't exactly lightweight, but we don't see any better alternatives at the moment. Slight compromises are needed to get playable frame rates, but if you are on the lookout for a gaming laptop with a good balance between gaming performance and portability, then the MSI GE62 7RE is a pretty good option. Thank you for tuning into Digit.in, and for more videos like this one, you can subscribe to our channel.